Hello everyone and welcome to another Top Tips for Archaeology Graduates. Today we are joined by Tabby. Hi Tabby, how are you?
Hi Penny, I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for making the time to come and join us today. So Tabby is an internal change administrator and she works in the technology sector. She works for a technology firm who work between private clients and the government as well. So Tabby, maybe you could tell us a little bit about what your job as a change administrator is, and what are some of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, of course. So my job as an internal change administrator is basically on a daily basis, we get different change requests that come in. Mine's based internally, but we have the client side as well. Just from the contracts that the company hold, which they hold 26, so we get quite a few on a daily basis, of just different like process changes they want to put in, different things they want to add, and it's just following that the process from start to finish to then see the end product and make sure it's all in delivery and everyone's okay and happy with the end result.
Sounds great. Sounds like you've got a lot of complex different things going on and probably working on multiple different projects at the same time. What are some of the things you enjoy about your role?
So we've only been doing this role for about 3 months now, and it's definitely been really interesting. I've managed to get stuck in and just having a great time. Some of the things I really do love is just the interaction between the different clients, even though it is internal, and just seeing the different changes that people want to put in, the different insights that they have. And the team that I work with, they are well established, so it's just getting the knowledge from them and just finding out what they've been doing really, and how long they've been working for this department.
So that sounds like it's quite people facing then. You spend a lot of time working with people, negotiating what they want and kind of trying to work out what it is that they want to make the changes about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the other side of that then, I guess, is what have you found more challenging? You say you're only 3 months into a new role, and I know starting a new job can be really challenging. There's so much information, a whole new set of acronyms to get used to. What have you found as you sort of settle down into the role has been the challenges you've had to face?
I think the challenges is just knowing the process really, because we have to follow a set rules, set governance processes. That it's just getting to grips with what follows on, what the workflow is, and because we require certain approvals from different people, it's making sure that we have those approvals, even though it's gone out in like a big distribution list. So it's ticking off and identifying who's replied and who hasn't, and what you need to chase to get everything moving. That's probably the most challenging thing, is just because it's all new people and new faces, and I'm still trying to get to grips with it.
Yeah, yes, remembering names and faces, especially in this online world where we're not meeting people in person in the same way, so there's perhaps not that chance to connect names and faces in the same way. Can I ask, how did you get into this role, moving from sort of studying archaeology as an undergraduate into having this particular position?
Yeah, so it's not very professional, but I worked in a pub after I graduated, because in my eyes it was like refusing to become like a proper adult and get like an adult job. So that was my part-time job while I was at uni and studying. So I just continued that for full-time for about 2 years or a year and a half after I graduated, and then I wanted to move into something a bit more challenging, something where I could start at the bottom and like work my way up, and just have like regular hours instead of working weekends. And then so I worked for this company for nearly 2 years now, and recently moved internally to this new role. And yeah, I just decided let's just find anything and just go for it. I had the skills to come in at a base level, and instead on my interview they wanted me to be slightly higher up in a different role, because they thought that I'd have the skill set for it. So I was just like, why not? Let's go for it, see where it leads.
That's fantastic. So even though you felt perhaps not that confident in your skills, the company were like, no, actually, we think you'd be right for this role. What were the kind of skill sets that they were looking for then, if you don't mind me asking?
So I think as a base level, it was just the standard skills that they're looking for, like you can work in a team, you can work independently. But the higher up, the slightly higher up role, they were looking for like team leaders or quality control assistants. And it was the different things of, can you bring a team together? Do you have leadership skills? Do you have like the precision in like what you want to do? Are you, yeah, I guess that's probably what they were looking for. And they did some kind of group-based activities in the interview, where they were just assessing people and what kind of skills they had, and how they just come across. So they decided that actually I was probably more suited to either a team leader or a quality assurance role.
That's great. Can I ask, do you feel like your archaeology degree contributed to that, or how do you think your sort of time studying archaeology contributed to that, perhaps in terms of the transferable skills or soft skills that you got?
Yeah, so I think it definitely has helped, because with archaeology you start in the field basically, or you start with your research, then you go into the field, you follow a process. And I like to, in a way, that's how I kind of just conduct myself. I like to know the process, so then when it comes to another problem, I know how the process works. I know like step by step what we need to do and what to look for. And then it's also making sure you're looking at things more closely and just picking up like any kind of detail, which is quite crucial when you're like with any finds or like scientific research. You need to have that precision and the level of detail you need to look into. So they've definitely transferred across. And as well as, I guess, like when we were studying, we did a lot of group work. So I work in quite I'd say a medium-sized group of people, and you need to be able to work together to get things done. So they're definitely transferable skills that I've taken from my degree across to this job.
That's fantastic. And I think it's really interesting sort of to hear you say about process and about that attention to detail that comes with learning the process that you see both in the field and also through research and through your independent research that you do in your dissertation. And I think that's a really nice insight for you to have drawn out. I think it's important. Thank you. So can I ask then, what kind of advice would you give to students then who are just graduating now? We've just seen our last cohort, third year, just finished. What kind of advice would you like to give to them, either about following in your footsteps or perhaps just going out into the world of work after you graduate?
I'd probably just say go for anything, really. Whether you've got your heart set on doing something within the archaeology sector or whether you want to go out and do something else, just go for it. Like if you feel you don't have the qualifications or you don't have the skills that they're looking for, there's no harm in trying. And eventually you may resort back into doing something else. You may not like it, but it's trial and error. And when you get into a job, you then build on those skills that you've taken from your degree, and then you can move on to something better. So yeah, definitely just go for it.
That's a great note to end on. Just go for it. Take the chances and opportunities when they come up. And also a point that you made there, which is something that a lot of people have made, is that you're a lifelong learner, whatever profession you go on to do, and that you're going to build on the skills that you get from your archaeological degree. It's not the end of the story, it's just the start. Okay, thank you, Tabby. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really been interesting to talk to you and hear about your work in the technology sector. Thank you very much to everybody for watching. Join us again next time for more top tips for archaeology graduates.